this is definitely like native here, like to the Americas. It's native to the Americas, and it's also native to like South America, like, you know what I'm saying, Central America. So this one literally, like, our people used to make blankets out of these flowers. You see what I'm saying? That they are saying that when you research them, they're saying like this is how the patterns that were used for like embroidery or creating quilts were inspired by these flowers. They're so beautiful. I love them. And I need to make wait, do I have a flowers one? I need to make a flowers tab so I don't have to like scroll. But here's some ones that I've seen like here in the Midwest. This one is really interesting to me. I don't know. I haven't did the I think this one is hybridized. I'm not sure, but it's beautiful. This one is beautiful. I really despise the Asian lady beetles. They decimated the ladybug population. Those orange ones, yeah, those orange the orange ladybug. Facts. I mean, I understand where you're coming from with that. Yeah, like plants are tough. Like, I don't know, like plants, they're a very beautiful thing to observe and like see, for real. And then, have y'all ever seen like people that hook like the little, I don't know, it's like some type of like whatever the waves that the plants give off, they like can turn it into like music and shit like that. But and the waves that they give off are like very tough. You can, based off of the sounds that are synthesized, you can tell that it matches that plant, like it has personality. Now this plant right here, I'm gonna keep it a buck. This is hybridized. Somebody planted this in the park. Like literally, when I looked up the name of this flower, it literally had TM next to it. Like, because the name of this flower is trademarked. Like they made this shit in a lab, but it was so beautiful. I just took a picture of it. I just took a picture of it, y'all. But and that's here in the Midwest. That wasn't like in Texas or nothing like that. But yeah, I like growing plants, but I'm not gonna lie, the lettuce was one of the hardest things I ever grew. Like, oh my gosh, like it took me 3 or 4 times planting lettuce for me to like, actually get a yield. It was kind of tough because it needs a lot of water and it needs like the right environment. I love these trumpet flowers. They're native to North America and they're also native to Asia. You see what I'm saying? They're beautiful. I love these. And the hummingbirds, they get the nectar out of these. Butterflies love these as well. And they just look like bright orange bells in the tree. They tough. I love them. Yeah, growing crops is another ball game because you do have to make sure that the soil is nutrient rich, that it's not too acidic, or that it's not too alkaline, depending on whatever it is. It's a different ball game for sure, but I love learning about it. Like learning about everything. This is one of my favorites, the Texas lantana. I love this one. This one is tough too. Like once you see like a whole bush of these, it's like, y'all know I like pink. So it's like a tough thing to like experience. The bright yellow and the pink is beautiful. the... Here's a Black Eyed Susan. Let me see if this... They are most of her slaves versus Wednesday. Yeah. You know, I need to, I'm trying to really take that, because I've got the base of like a head of a romaine growing. And so I'm trying to transplant it, but I'm scared that when I transplant it, that it's going to go into shock. And it, like, I hope it can come back if it do. So I'm trying to wait until more growth gets propagated. And it's actually gonna be raining for like the next week or so. So hopefully, like, I probably just need to go ahead and put everything out there right now. But yeah, like, this is a Black Eyed Susan. See, that looks like a microphone. You know, that looks like it's meant to take in sound. It's meant to take in vibration, you know? That's tough. And like, what else did I see? Oh yeah, this one is called the Indian paintbrush, or the paintbrush flower. You see what I'm saying? I thought it was a dragon egg. Yeah, you could even say that too. Like this one right here, it's kind of withered towards the base, but this one is like, if when you get like a full one, like a real beautiful, like a patch of them or something like that, you can literally like morph it into a paintbrush, and the petals are thick, they're soft. It's like, I don't know, like they just, you could just tell you would want to use this to paint something if you didn't have a paintbrush, because you can chisel it towards the end. You can maneuver it so many different ways, and it's not thin. Like the flowers, that I'm growing in like my flower bed, they're thin. Like with this rain and them getting smacked by it, like all their petals are gonna easily fall off. But a flower like this, that's not gonna happen. You see what I'm saying? They luscious. But yeah. But yeah, y'all, I had, like, you know, I got endless of like plants and stuff, and I'm learning about like a lot of stuff that's like growing here too. Like, there's a lot of mullein that grows here. I really just want to learn how to like turn things into other things. Like I want to make paper, or like make like band-aids, like natural like band-aids and stuff like that, or like herbal wraps and stuff like that. Like I want to make stuff like that. Thank you, my sister. Yeah, like I want to learn how to like make like, I used to know how to make paper when I was younger. Like in my room, somebody gave me like a paper making machine one day for like something. I don't know. It was a gift to me. And I'm glad that I had that, because I actually know how to make paper, but I only know how to make paper from other paper. I'm trying to make paper from like leaves, and like mullein can be used for like toilet paper, and stuff like that. And it anciently was, but like, how do I alchemize that? That's what I'm trying to learn. So yeah. Yeah, I just gotta figure it out. Once I have to get my drying rack, like my solar drying rack. And it's cheap too. It's like $10. It's like the one that you just kind of like hang, and it's like a mesh, like a little mesh thing. I don't know how to explain it, but you can use that. And I'm also gonna learn how to build like a solar like a solar one, like out of wood, and then make the top of it like glass, so like the sun can go in there and make like a flap, like a wooden flap, so you can put things in there to dry out directly from the sun. I'm trying to learn, like little stuff like that, so I don't have to use like the oven, you know? Or like, I don't believe in dehydrating things. I don't believe in that. Like, even the people that are like, oh, you gotta like how people are calling like raw foods and they dehydrated it. I'm like, yo, that's literally like cooking something on low. You're just cooking it on like 116 degrees. Like a lot of like people that claim to be vegan, you're cooking the food if you're using a dehydrator, because cooking is dehydrating. So if you're using a dehydrator, you're cooking. Like, it's literally, and I was like pissed off one day because I was like, yo, like they doing pizza, they doing like, what I'm saying, like vegan wings and shit like that. I'm like, how is they doing this? And I found out that they were taking like, vegetables, saucing and seasoning them up, but they was dehydrating it in a dehydrator. And so I'm like, okay, well, what is that? And it's like basically cooking things on like 100 or lower. And it's slowly over time. That's why it takes them like 2 days to dehydrate their food, because they pulling all the moisture out of it slowly. I'd rather you cook it over an open flame on a gas stove or something, and you know what I'm saying, than for you to dehydrate something slowly. It's more moisture taken out of the food with you doing that than you cooking it on the stove. Yeah, I don't believe in that. Yeah, I don't believe in that. Using invasive water using to durable biodegradable. Ooh, are you talking about like the flower? The hyacinth flower, like the grape hyacinth? I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. But are you talking about that one? And you're saying that you're going to turn it into plastic? Because I'm going to need that. I would like to know that. Yeah. So like, yeah, like dehydrating is just not it. Like you just cook or eat raw. Like that's it. That's all we got to do. And I like eating raw because it's like when you are outside all day and you've been in the sun, sometimes you really don't feel like coming in the house and cooking, And when you're out there a lot, you just want to eat watermelon or fruit. Like you literally just want hydration. So like, and if I do cook, a lot of times these days it's just pasta, like penne pasta, lentil, like, what I'm saying, like one ingredient lentil pasta, and I put either fresh veggies in there, like raw, or I lightly cook them, toss some tomato sauce, season it up, call it a day. You know what I'm saying? Drink some coconut water with it or regular water, add some peppermint leaves to the water. And yeah, or I eat my fruits. And I like mango a lot. The yellow mangoes, I just bite into them. Like like once they get ripe, you can just eat the whole thing. I love them. Like the honey mangoes, I love those. I'm even to the point to like, even with the red mangoes, like I'll just bite the skin of that. If it's ripe enough. But yeah, look up Joseph Cyril from Kenya. He did come with the idea. Okay, but you take pictures of your cooked meals? Yes. You want to see them? Let me see. What I got. And I had a lot on my Snapchat and I got rid of it too. But I had a lot posted, like when I had my my Instagram, I used to post a lot, like post it to my highlights. But yeah, let me see. Let me show you. I I don't know if you can see this. That's blurry. It doesn't look blurry from my end. Hold on. Let me see. That's when I like made like pancakes, you know what I'm saying? Fried mushroom on the side. And I made them from like chickpea flour. Let me show you something up close. I don't know if you can see this one. These are tacos. The shells are cassava, one ingredient. The white soft shells are almond flour, and that's mushroom in there. That's like a sauce that I made. It's actually, that might be like cheese, so-called like mozzarella cheese. That might be that, or like a hemp seed ranch. I don't see like grains in them, so that's probably just the cheese. Let me see what else I got in here. I did realize like I do not have a lot of stuff in my camera roll of my food anymore. That shit made me want my old Snapchat back just so I can like have it, you know. Here's my chow mein. Oh my gosh, like I was eating this back to back, y'all. I promise you I was. Like, that's just sweet potato glass starch noodles, all the sauces at the bottom. I made like a pomelo, like maple, cilantro, onion, like all my seasonings. Like I made like a mushroom broth and avocado, some grilled mushrooms. I was eating chow mein back to back. But yeah, let's see, one more. Let me see if I can find some of my pizzas. I don't know if you can see this one, but this is a pizza that I made. I think we might have used plantain flour. The base of it, tomato sauce, tomatoes, mushroom. I think there's jackfruit on here, peppers, onions, Italian seasoning, and stuff like that. That one looked kind of blurry. Let me see. Let me see if I have another one in here. I'm not sure if I do. And I do, obviously I do salads in between. Like here's a salad right here. And it's lentils. It's just a regular romaine salad. Now that's hemp seed ranch for sure. Avocado, tomatoes, bell peppers. And it's just topped with some lentils. Yeah, you know what really helps me is Pinterest, y'all. Like, first of all, you can learn anything on Pinterest. You really can. Like, if y'all ever want to be added into any of my Pinterest tabs, let me know. I have stuff for gardening. I have stuff for anatomy. I have stuff for like divine femininity. I have a books tab. I have a motherhood, sisterhood tab. I have a vegan alkaline tab that I've been like building for like 3 years. I got juice, teas, like, and I try to keep it like alkaline, but if you got a question about something, you can just like, ask me on there or on here or whatever. But let me know if you want to be adding it like to my Pinterest and stuff, because some of the sisters, they like, well, let me just talk about my mom. My mom actually is in the tab. And when instead of her calling and asking me, she'll just go on there. You know what I'm saying? She'll just go on there. I have an all things herbs tab that I've been building for like 7 years. So yeah, science tabs, just let me know. McDonald's got vegan options too. Child, that fake vegan, y'all better stay away from that. Talking about McDonald's got it. But yeah, and I also do like charcuterie boards too, like just on my raw days. That's like cashew cheese, avocado, tomato, cucumbers, and blueberries. And you can still find like almond crackers that are good. A brand that is really trustworthy, 100% vegan and alkaline, is Simple Mills. They crackers could be a little bit expensive sometime, but they good. You can make your own with like almond flour and seeds. Like, go to the store, get you $1 pack like of sunflower seeds, that with some chia seeds, some flax seeds, and like maple and water. Mix all of that up, bake it a little bit, and you have like seed crackers. You can just use almond flour as like the binder. Even if you have like a Dominican or a Mexican store next to you, the Casabito, I was using that before I found the crackers, because it's just cassava. It's just cassava and water, and they made it into cracker form. So you can use that. My first ever charcuterie board, that's how I did it. Just with Casabito and this on the screen. And those are good. You season it up, and I'm telling you, your Italian seasoning, I like to use ancient sea salt, like the salt from Utah. The real salt is called real salt or ancient salt. And I'm telling you, that salt is not like Himalayan salt, and it's not like sea salt. It's umami. Like, it's going to make the food taste like literally like 2 times better. Like, it enhances the flavor. I don't know. I can't explain to you why. I need to look into like the crystalline structure of it. Maybe that would tell me something, but that right there, and that make the vegetables taste really good, like that much better too. But yeah, let me show y'all the charcuterie board that me and my mom did. My mom, y'all, she be trying. She's just not consistent. She is just not consistent, like, at all. And she never really has been. She's really always trying some new diet out. And I keep telling her that the best diet is the one that aligns with her genetics, But yeah, like even like a nori wrap like this, like if you make a good sauce, as long as you're good at making sauces, eating raw is good. As long as you can season your vegetables, it's good. So this is just like a nori wrap, and I have avocado on the bottom, onion, red onion, some tomatoes. I think that's some cayenne hummus that I made. Like, it's raw cayenne hummus, and I put some chia seed, and you just roll that up, and you can eat that. Even just seasoning mashed avocados. There's chips at the store that you can buy. I just would rather you make your own. Like, you can get plantain chips. If it's in palm oil, that's fine. Watch it. If it says sustainable, watch that. And make sure it's not like kernel. Make sure it's actually palm. If they say palm or kernel, like, I would stay away from that. But if it straight up says palm oil, that's fine. Right? So, and then you can find chips that are fried in avocado oil as well. What else? There's a brand called Siete. They have good chips. They're made with like cassava and something else. Psyllium husk. That's what they're made with. And yeah, here's another like pizza that I did. It's a little bit zoomed in, but this one was really good. That right there, that cheese is actually cheese that melts, and it's made from, I think we just use agar agar. And once you let that sit, I think we use like konjac and agar agar. Konjac comes from mushrooms. And you use that, And when you pour it and it's like liquid, like when you make it, but when you bake it, it turns to like stretchy cheese. So I was making like cashew cheese back to back with agar agar. And when you cook it in the oven, it thickens up. It gets a little bit stretchy. So, that's pretty good. Tomatoes is on there, red onions. That's green leaf and red leaf lettuce that I put on there, and I treat that like spinach. And it looks like that's some red and some yellow bell pepper, and then my seasonings. So yeah, I like cooking. I love cooking. My grandparents were chefs. I don't really have the pictures on here to show you because I used to take pictures, a lot of pictures of my food, and now I don't have them, like a lot of videos, and then I can't show you the videos, but I can cook. I love cooking. I cook something new every time that I cook. Like today I made like some like mushroom pasta, and I like made it kind of like my mushrooms, like I kind of cooked them down like a little bit more than I normally would, and kind of made like a soup base, but not. Yeah, those are my favorite toppings too. But yeah, um and this one right here is something I found the other day, and this is a species of plantain actually. That broadleaf plantain that I always talk to y'all about. This is in the same boat, but this is the arrowhead. I think it's called arrowhead plantain. I think that's what it's called. But look though, the bulbs, so like the roots of this plant, it grows in water, and the roots are called duck potatoes. And so it has like this potato type root that, like, I think they said ducks and other like birds that be like in the water. I'm not sure if it's like swans or who else, because it just said other mammals. But they're saying that they feed on like the root, which is like a potato. And I looked up like some recipes of like people that was cooking with them. They look good. Yeah, they look like they cook down to like, like the small yellow potato, like them little small yellow potatoes. They look like they cook down like that. Like, like the kind you would put like with a roast or something like that. And so yeah, that one was right next to that musk thistle that I was telling you about that is not really supposed to be growing here because they saying it's against the law or whatever. It grows next to that. But yeah, I think I have talked today. They say I've been live 5 hours, 32 minutes. Yeah, I really need to push like another 8 hour stream. I really do. Like just to do that so that I can get more achievements, so that I can like do more things on the live. Like they give you more controls and shit. I really do need to do that. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do it today because it's like, it's late and I could just push 3 hours, or really like 2.5. It's just 2.5 more hours. Y'all can go to bed. No, I'm just, but I might still be here. She said, oh my, I missed a lot. Yeah, I was live for a minute. It was pretty heated in here earlier, you know? So right now I'm just on here talking, but yeah, another thing is like this tree that grows near me called the cottonseed tree, and it produces like cotton and stuff. Like, and I was thinking like, damn, like that's something that you could like, it's like a big tree. I'm talking like gotta be 100 something years old. It's huge. And I know that's, you can use clothes, diapers, pads. I'm sure you could use it for that, especially if you have something like mullein growing too. So I'm trying to get into that and see, like, I need to get back into sewing and weaving. I seen on Temu that they have this little, first of all, child, why is they selling robots for $40 on Temu? Like actual, like the ones that they were trying to show you, like in the Jetsons or like in the whatever it is, like the ones that be around the home making stuff. They sell that. I seen it and I have it screenshotted too of them selling it for like $40.02. But anyways, outside of that, I was looking for like a sewing machine and one that I could travel with too. That's like handheld, and it's one that's like a sewing machine that like fits like in the palm of your hand, and it comes with like threading, bobbing needles and stuff like that. I already got a lot of needles and different types and stuff, but I'm thinking about getting one that like for like travel and like survival, like to put in like my travel bag and stuff like that. Y'all know, like I keep solar lights. I have life straws, a lot of those. First aid kits, survival kits and stuff like that. But yeah, another thing that I've been doing lately too is walking with a bag of rocks or walking with heavy things, building up my back muscles and strengthening my spine. Remember I told you I got in that accident. So, when it rains, I can feel like when the barometric pressure dips, it'll make the body ache. You know how like the elders, they talk about like, ooh, I can tell it's finna rain because my knee hurting. That happens to me, my knee, my hip, and my spine. So, but it's gotten better. And like when I do things like that, like go to the park, look at rocks, collect them, observe them, identify them, fill my bag up, walk home with it, Zell he had to have carried like anywhere from like 70 plus pounds the other day. Well, like our bags hold 70 pounds, but he be filling it all the way up and carrying other shit too. So he be using that to like strengthen his body and stuff too. Like instead of going to the store, in the car, walk to the store, like get a watermelon, you know what I'm saying? Cause he carried a watermelon plus other groceries home. Cause we're growing them, but we're waiting for them to grow and stuff too. So like that kind of stuff has strengthened my back good. Even just doing it just 2 times defined my back really good, where I can see my muscle definition, like a lot more prominent. And yeah, I need to get back into like working out more, but I've been a lot more consistent with like stretching. Stretching is really good for like making the bones strong. Like doing yoga. I'm not like a yoga girl, but I will like stretch and hold it. You know what I'm saying? Just like you hold a yogic pose. But yeah, my legs are strong. I can walk up to like 4 hours, with no sweat, barely. Like, that's what I was saying. The police the other day was like, y'all walk from here to here? We was like, yeah. And we was telling them, we was like, we don't eat meat like you. We don't do shit like that. So that's really nothing, And he was shocked when we said we didn't eat meat. He was like, oh, I couldn't go a day without meat. Like, I'm Nebraska boy. I gotta have me a beefsteak. Like, bro, I don't give a fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you literally have us detained and you trying to tell us about a beefsteak. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, I just, these policemen, they don't really be on shit for real. If you really like they don't, and they scared too. But obviously, you know, be careful with how you move because they are animalistic as fuck. And they will spaz out, you know, but it wasn't that type of like situation. We really, even though the YT girl called her, I told her to because she threatened my life and she was already going to call them anyway. So I was like, now you can call them because you just told me you're going to spray me with bear spray and pew pew me with a GUN. Like, what? Now you got to call them. The fuck? Because you talking to me about cameras and shit? Call they ass now. So, yep. So I'm banned from a store. I've only been here like 6 months and I'm already banned from a store that's like a mile and a half away from me. And that's because I called her a liar. She kept lying. Every time we came in there, she kept changing the price. I said, so what is the price? I've been in here 5 times in a row. And every day you increase this shit by $1 or $1.50. And then shit went downhill from there. But it's cool. You know what I'm saying? She know me. When she see me, I'll be like, you see me? So, but anyways, yeah, I walk and my legs are a lot stronger. My hips are stronger. I don't be tired. When I sit down, like when I'm done, I can feel my, you know what I'm saying, my blood pumping, you know what I'm saying, in my legs and stuff like that, but they don't be tired. Now, last year, I can honestly tell you, when I used to walk for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, I wouldn't be tired, but my legs were like not as strengthened as they are now. So like I could feel, I used to literally like walk a long distance and I would wake up sore the next rising. Now I don't. Like that's nothing. Like I would have to walk probably at this point for like 6 hours to get sore. So, you know, like you gotta just keep going, y'all. And then when I went vegan, that's another thing. Cause somebody had asked me like what helped you like kickstart your journey? Walking. I lived basically right on a trail. So as soon as I got up, go outside, walk. Like I would literally wake up outside, like, you know what I'm saying? Like finish my waking up process, like outside, like, okay, get straight up out of the bed, do your routine real quick, go outside. And it's like you still trying to wake up for the day. You still a little bit asleep. That's how I was every single day. And I would do it multiple times a day. I used to, gratitude sis, I used to have a dog too. Like, I don't know if some of the lives, like the older ones, if you can hear Imperia in the background, I had to get rid of her because she was starting to she turned on me. I had to give that dog away. I was already going to give the dog away anyway, but that dog started amping up with her genetics quicker than I expected her to. So, yeah, I don't have her ass no more, but I can show y'all a picture of her. This is Imperia, like literally. Yeah, I was showing them Imperia, like literally this dog was the sweetest dog at first, but she switched on me and I had to give her away because her genetics started switching. She started like
abundance, y'all.
Getting like erratic as fuck. So yeah, it's a Chihuahua. The Mexican boy told me that she was a Chihuahua and something else, and he didn't know like what the other thing was. So that's another thing, you know. She was a cutie. Yeah, she was a cutie, and she used to whine about everything. Yeah. She used to whine about everything, complain about everything. And let me see. This is her too. I don't know if you can see her in this one. Yeah, like barely. But Yeah, like this was at my granny's house and she only trusted me and my granny. Like she did not fuck with nobody else. It didn't matter how long you've known her or how many treats you gave her. For some reason, she was only bonded to me and my grandmother. And my grandmother only knew her like for not that long and they were just bonded like that. Yeah, her little self, like she used to be so like small. And when she was a baby, she used to fit like right in my hand. So when I had got her, she was like, you know, child, when I had got Imperia, she was just trying to figure out if she could trust me or not. And so I took her back to my apartment and I stayed on the third floor at this time. And so her little body, she was trying to go up the steps, but she accidentally like missed a step or something like that. And she was finna slip through the cracks. And my reflexes was quick. I caught her like right when she was like falling like in my hand. And from that moment on, she trusted me. Like prior to that, she was like, girl, I don't really know about you. But once that little situation, we was locked in. She trusted me. She was like, oh yeah, she got me. So I'ma just rely on her, you know? And I had her for like 4.5 years. I got her when she was like a few weeks old, like after, she, because you have to like keep them with their mother for a minute and then you can, So yeah, she didn't trust me at first and then she did. And then after them 4.5 years, she started switching on everybody. Like never was like a biter like that, started biting. Started like just doing like shit she doesn't like normally do. More nervous, you know what I'm saying? And child, it was, yeah, like they are, especially them chihuahuas, they be having a lot going on and they loud. I really think she has squirrel DNA because she looks like a squirrel. Like I know y'all looking at pictures and you probably can't tell, but up close and like even like her profile, like the side of her face, like her profile looks like a squirrel and her tail is bushy just like a squirrel. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't be surprised, child, if it was like that. I wouldn't be surprised. So yeah. But yeah, this is also like another picture of like, radiation. I took this one last year too. You see how the skies are pink, got orange in there and stuff like that. Like, and it's even crazier like now with the sky and stuff. So yeah. So what's these people just hybridize anything, literally. Literally, there's something that is like popular right now called the strawberry spinach. And I'm noticing like more and more people are talking about it. And I was on Pinterest and I was reading one of the comments on there and the white tea lady was on there basically talking about like it's a new hybrid and I'm gonna like do the like more research, but I did like a little quick synopsis and that's like a new ass hybrid. So I don't know. I don't know why people are just now starting to talk about it now. I don't really know its origin or how it came about specifically, but I'm gonna look into that. And they put anything together, even like when they cook and stuff, it just don't make sense. I was looking at this video on pictures of this man that was making like dandelion patties. It's basically like where you make like a fried fritter, like where you take some flour, maybe you put some onions, some peppers in there and you add dandelion. Dandelion is real thick, like it's really good too. Like when you cook it in something like that. If you looking for like a burger patty, it's something about the dandelions. And if you, do it like how I'm telling you, it makes a really good patty and you would never expect that. But there's a lot of recipes and stuff for it, right? And I'm looking at this man that's on Pinterest, and all he seasoned the whole like recipe with just salt. And so there's a comment I put in there. I'm like, he talking about you season it and he only just used salt. And I made a comment about that, and people are laughing about it because he gave it to his son to try, and the son said that he liked it. They put it on just a piece of white bread, like all of that flour, all of that, and he just seasoned it with salt and put it on a piece of white bread. I said, I won't be doing it like that, but they did. You know what I'm saying? They did. I don't know. Cerebral cats are, cute. Y'all see they fermenting Kool-Aid and pineapple challenge. Like, you talking like pickles? Like Kool-Aid pickles? Where y'all see they fermenting Kool-Aid and pineapple. Oh, they made like, I don't know about that. I haven't seen it. But I did grow up on Kool-Aid pickles. I sure did. And I was thinking about making my own, like the natural way, like cucumber, because I low-key need to plant some of that too. Well, I did, but I don't see like no growth or nothing. But you can grow cucumbers, ferment them, and make them good, and make you some Kool-Aid with hibiscus and make it sweet with like some coconut sugar, and you can like do that. You really could. I did make some pickles like a few months ago for my little cousins, and they loved it. So I have to try it that other way. He said, "Nah, Kool-Aid pineapples. I never got to try them. I need to do something like that. I never got to try that." The AI summary, so y'all are saying y'all can't see the AI summary on your end. I don't know why they give it to the creator, like to the person that's live. So like the AI summary right now, this is what it says, y'all. Sharing stories about her chihuahua, Imperia, and unusual food recipes. What the fuck are you doing? Like, why would they be that specific? You know, that's weird as fuck. I can't believe y'all can't see the AI summary on y'all end. It's right below, on my end, it's right below portal of alignment, like, nah, Kool-Aid pineapples. And it's saying sharing, like, what? And it talking about unusual food recipes. Ciao. They gave me an AI prompt earlier. Was it when you tried to go live or something like that? I'm trying to figure out, like, how are people making their prompts for their live? Is that like on ChatGPT or something? I don't have that, so I don't know if that's how everybody is doing it or what. I make mine by hand. Like, you know, I do mine the old school way. Take a picture, put it on a screen, and go live. They doing it where it's like ChatGPT. Somebody was live, like they whole screen was moving. Like it was like a GIF and it was a prompt. That's why I say I got to unlock some achievements. I think, see if I can get up to that level, because that way I can start showing y'all like not videos, but like live photos or something like that. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. I haven't figured it out. TikTok not vegan. Facts. On your live, it said that you were discussing topics that were AI generated. That's weird. That's weird as fuck. And then they will say that and then flag me for misinformation, but artificial intelligence is like Google, you know? That's weird. All right, I'm gonna let it hit 6 hours and then I'm gonna get out, but it's at 5 hours and 52 minutes. So y'all got any questions y'all want to ask in these last 7 or 8 minutes? If not, I understand because y'all didn't ask me every question y'all could. I've been on here answering questions for like 3 hours. So yeah, but I probably will. And she said, "Where do white tea people go when they unalive?" You know, like, were you like, okay, what? How? I don't know. Like, how are you asking that question? Are you talking about their energy? Like, where do their energy go, or do you mean like their body? Like, I don't know like what you mean. Their energy, or if they don't have souls. Like, that's a good question. I I understand what they're trying to say with purgatory. Like, because they can't leave or escape this planet. I really think their energy just dissipates. I don't think that, because it doesn't return back to source, because it doesn't go back to biogenesis, because it wasn't created that way. I don't know. I don't know what you would call that. I guess it would just cease in existence. It would literally, because like it's feeding off of a host anyways. So it's like this energy is not even real. That's a very great question. Thank you for challenging me with that. I don't know, but if you ask Zell, he might give you like a well-rounded answer, because he understands auric fields and energy a lot deeper than I do. That's actually a question I'm gonna ask him. I would just say it would go back to like it would neutralize with existence. It would neutralize with this resonance, because it's being destroyed. Like, radiation penetrates everything and destroys it from the inside out. So it's like it's being absorbed. Like, when we look at like the venom species, they are the ones that's like eating like a lot of these unalive organisms, like these cows that are mutilating and stuff like that. Like, that gets absorbed by prokaryotes, or it decomposes and it gets neutralized. So we have other species to take care of that. Ants, they decompose. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to say it goes back to source, you know? I don't want to say it goes back to source, but it does. It just doesn't go back to source like through biogenesis. It gets neutralized and destroyed, like broken down by other organisms. So I don't know. If energy can be created or destroyed, I always wonder how that works. Well, when they're saying that energy can't be created or destroyed, like, that's the literal. So study biogenesis or abiogenesis, and it will make a lot more sense, because really everything is just a continuation. It just transcends. So there's no beginning or end, so-called, because everything is simultaneous and it just is. So that's why they don't know how old the planet is, because they don't know how old the sun is, because there's no starting point with the universe. That's why that question that was before this is a challenge, like a mental challenge for me to see how would you put it in words. Like, I understand the mechanism, but how would I explain that, you know? So let's see. They can't go back to Pindar, because here, yeah, it can't go back that way. It just would be broken down and destroyed by other organisms that have different DNA and genetics than us, that where they can do that. Because like roaches are prokaryotic, and these scientists are saying that like when all life were to cease, that roaches would be left, and that's because they are natural prokaryotic decomposers, and they're aggressive and they reproduce rapidly and things like that. certain insects and microorganisms, their exoskeleton or like their anatomy wicks off diseases. So it's like from their perspective of dealing with something like that, these types of diseases or microbes wouldn't even affect them like how they could affect like our cells, because like bees are just not us. You know what I'm saying? We're just not plants. They have a different biology. They have a different, you know what I'm saying, anatomy, and how they respond to other organisms is based off of their genetics. So that's the best that I could answer it, you know what I'm saying, for now. Or recycle through the moon. Yep. And then they would come back here, but they can't escape this realm. Or we're having trouble with going past that moon because it's in the religion is telling us to fly into the light. And that's a satellite that's used to traffic souls and send them back here. But as far as YT people and the science, like the morphology, I wouldn't be able to explain it to you right now. I actually can only explain it how it would physically happen, because I understand how things break down and decompose, and then the animals and how they do that. And then they say, are lions prokaryotic? When you look at animals in nature, pretty much everything falls under Eukaryota animalia. And so when you hear me talk about lions being prokaryotic or bees being prokaryotic, it's referring to how their cells function and how their chromosomes are set up. So when we're talking about how their cells function, they function like prokaryotes because all of their genetic material stems from one origin. Lions don't have genetics from, you know, domesticated cats. Lions don't have genetics from kangaroos. All of their genetics make them 100% a lion. They don't have introgress genes that would actually make them a prokaryotic organism based off of how they function. But when you're putting them into taxonomies, when you're putting them into, you know, classifying them by genus, species, and things like that, then you have to fit their narrative because they're the ones doing the classification. You know, that's why I always say you got to look at how they talk about things, how they interact differently. And then you look at how these cells function and connect the dots. Because like, who is that? It was some type of scientist that would like we were talking about tectonic plates and processes, but they were talking about the formation of like land and how meteors and things like that have like hit the surface and have caused mountains to actually form or mounds to form and things like that. So he also said that these things passing through space have no intelligence. But when we look at everything in space, it has intelligence. The Big Bang is not just no reason at all. It's a conscious bang. It's a conscious thing. Like these particles are actually said to be attracted and bond with each other for so-called chaos energy to be composed. But this chaos energy is only just one speck of it, of order being brought. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's like these scientists can only take so much even within their field. That's why I say if you're just a chronobiologist, you don't know the truth. You would have to look at chronobiology and climatology. You would have to, because chrono means order, bio means life. It's talking about the patterns, the rhythmic and circadian patterns that we see throughout life in organisms. So the way birds flap and how they used to flap versus how they flap today, right? How organisms have changed. And then you talk about something like evolution where they're bringing climate into it. You see why you can't just stay in one branch, because everything is affecting everything. You would have to understand it all. So that's why I talk about like connecting dots and, you know, things like that. I respect that. I need to do my own digging as well, but I'm grateful for you. Gratitude. Your lies have purged me in so many ways, made me Yeah, my crazy thoughts make sense scientifically. Yep, that's what I mean. You can feel these things, just structure them. What is nature saying? Like, oh, she actually not saying that, she's saying this, and that makes more sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why I do that. But yeah, gratitude, y'all, for coming in here each time, sharing your frequency, your kind words. You know what I'm saying? We went even further down the rabbit hole, even past, you know what I'm saying, the evolution talk today. So I'm always grateful for that. That question, though, where do they go to? Like, as far as their energy, what does it return to? I'm going to bring you a quantum scientific explanation on that. So expect me to bring that to you next time for real. And let me know what you find. Do the research. Let me know what you find too. So I said, what's your thoughts on haplogroup? You know my thoughts on haplogroup. You know my exact thoughts on haplogroup. But haplogroups are groups and classifications based off of like ethnicities, based off of so-called ancestral background, blood typings. There are a lot of things that go into how they have grouped people together. And the base premise for understanding that is the antigens, right? Understanding how like DNA has been influenced over time, and how things are actually genetically expressed. So it's a genetic expression versus antigens and how that actually affects people. So how I feel about haplogroups is kind of like the same way I feel about titles. You know what I'm saying? You are who you are because of your DNA, not because of the title that we're subscribing to today. But the E1, B1, like all of those things, I hear our people who were saying with that, that's just not genetics. But I understand the talking points, and I'm grateful that our people have gotten that far. You know what I'm saying? Even with understanding that. But yeah, anything else? Once, twice, thrice. Facts. Good night, y'all. I probably will be back later today. Who knows? I am supposed to get out a video about hypertrichosis. So if you want like a further, like a deep down, like a deeper explanation than what we talked about in the live today, I got you with that because I needed to put that out today, but I chose to go live. So all of that we talk is the acquired. I'm gonna put that in the video for y'all. And then we'll talk about the vampire syndrome and shit too. We'll just keep running it. And then again, we're going to have those discussions for women. I am going to start talking a lot more about our anatomy and how it relates to femininity and how we're really choosing to move forward with men and things like that, because that's something like as sisters, we really got to define. But we can really look at all, like the sisters, we're fed up. You know what I'm saying? Patriarchy led us to be extremely fed up with men, but we just have to be grounded in the way that we move forward with them, right? And that comes with having a base understanding of yourself and how you actually want to move, how you want to maneuver. Do you want to express sovereignty? Do you really want to embody bodily autonomy? Do you really want to be free for real and express divine femininity? Or are you going to be male centered, right? Because when I hear women saying things like, well, I only want to be in a group where it's just women. And I say, well, what's your reason? And you say, well, because I don't fuck with men. Okay, well, that's male centered as fuck. You got to have another reason besides that. Like, I understand our feelings, but we have to like not allow the things that patriarchy has led us to turn our hearts cold as women. That's what really allows us to exercise our power and our divine femininity, that we can really overcome this shit through the mind. that we built planets and constructed and forged them here through the mind. That our mind is literally strong enough to pull two planets together. So we got to get over like things, but it's a journey. You know what I'm saying? It's a journey. There's a lot of unpacking. There's a lot of like healing, understanding, going within that has to take place. And everybody's at different parts of their journeys. So I think it's important, you know, for us to talk to each other, for us to get it out, for us to really express like, you know, how we feel about things, because the men, they don't give a fuck, right? I'm the only person that would really be able to listen and truly enter and understand. They can't. That's why it's important for us, if we understand now that sharing our feelings with men doesn't get us anywhere, that's why you need to be talking to me. That's why you need to be talking to another sister and really building that true bond for real. But it starts with you. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you show yourself, you mirror back to other people. Can walking at night help better with your frequency than daytime when the vibration is so high? Walking at any time of day would help because the UVC radiation is more prominent at night, just as well as it is in the day. You see what I'm saying? That's why these people are getting sunburned at night, because that UVC radiation is still powering up. I actually be outside a lot, 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and really taking in all that melatonin, you know what I'm saying, that natural melatonin that is being released. And I like to watch melatonin actually rise and climb to serotonin levels and observe how that affects my brain chemistry, how that affects my body and things like that. So it's all good. You know what I'm saying? You produce serotonin and melatonin naturally too. So walking at any time of day is only going to power you up. You know, be careful though, you know, stay vigilant. I would say based on haplogroup, can so-called black people be spliced? No, some of us are a mutation based on haplogroup. I don't know what you mean by some. You see what I'm saying? I don't know what you mean by some of us are a mutation because our genes don't mutate. Facts not competing. I've never heard that our minds can pull planets together. Wow, it sure can. And that's what cymatics is explaining. That's what parthenogenesis is explaining, because conception begins in the mind. That's what we mean by we're the literal creators of our reality, but that's done within. That's done through consciousness, right? That's why I was telling the sister earlier, like, you create your reality. You got to go in the mind. You got to work on the subconscious mind and your deep-rooted beliefs. Like if you believe like, okay, I'm not a confident person, but you stand in the mirror and you're like, okay, I'm confident, I'm confident, I'm confident. You can say that all day long, but if you don't subconsciously believe it, it won't manifest. Your lack of confidence is what's going to continue to show in your reality, because you have to change the way that you view yourself. And that's what we mean by inner work. You see what I'm saying? You have to do the work. Literally, you taking the steps is the manifestation. So it's like, okay, I'm struggling with confidence. Well, why? You know, what happened to me when I was younger that knocked my confidence off? Right? Is there some life events that led me here? Sitting with that and those uncomfortable thoughts, having those uncomfortable conversations is what fixes the subconscious mind, because now you're getting to the root of the problem. That's why I say sitting with yourself for an hour can feel like 6 months, right? Because of all of the energy that's being transmuted finally. So yeah, we created those planets as mothers of life. Of course we can, for sure. Sudanese, South African, Aboriginal, Australians, FBA. You're not a mutation based on haplogroup. Genes mutate, right? Your genetics is what mutates. So those titles, it depends on whose genetics is what. Like white South Africans like Elon Musk, his genes mutate. But the people that have neuromelanated skin, their genes don't mutate, right? So I know they say that the behavior is off, but one thing I haven't heard our people say is that we mutate. I haven't heard that one. If y'all saying that now I would have to sit and hear that, because that would be something new. Becoming Supernatural explains this as well. I'm not done with it, but I cried at the very, yep. You know, another book that also made me cry, Becoming Supernatural didn't make me cry. The Great Cosmic Mother did. I had to take a break from the patriarchy part of that book, because they tell you extensively how everything was yours, how we reigned, how we were free. And then they tell you extensively, intricately, on a deep level, how it was taken from you. That shit will bring you to your knees, man, because that book does it like no other. That book does, like, it goes deep, because the authors have a base understanding of Kundalini. They have a base understanding of like the primordial energy. Like the first chapter of that book is, I think it's like, everyone was female. And then the next chapter is the original Black mother. So they straight up tell you, you know what I'm saying? They straight up tell you like, what's up? And then they tell you how these men like completely took our shit away from us, how they took it away from our girls. You see what I'm saying? And it's sick. Like, these are our greatest enemies, is these YT men, these YT women, these Asian men. I'm telling you, they have not ever fucked with us, right? So, let's see. Becoming Supernatural really is good though, and I have the physical book. See, I was reading it PDF, but y'all see, like, I posted the paperback of it, and I didn't know that they were gonna put like pictures of the brain scans in the book. Like, like when you're, like the children's Bibles, and they got the little pictures in them, and like that type of paper that they use, like that laminated type paper that they use, they have brain scans and information and charts and data, like, and the different machines that was used, like they have that in there. I'm like, yo, that's why I said I'm finna get a few of these lives out and a few of these videos. And child, I'm gonna be in these books for like probably about like another 4 to 6 months. Again, you see what I'm saying? I always do these lives back to back to back to back to back. And then y'all don't hear from me, because I'll be locked into like studying and making sense of my reality and observing and shit like that. But yeah, speak to them, some Suhani. They say they came out of water. All right, it's 2 different conversations in here, man. What's up? Like, what? We having 2 different conversations. They came out of water. Y'all, look, I got you, but how do cells come into existence? You feel me? YT women say all men to separate themselves from YT supremacy, but not throw their men. Yeah, talk about it. Matter of fact, that's the best way I've seen it put in a comment, like a sentence or less. You see what I'm saying? There's caves all over the planet, even here in America. It was Epiphanies. It was the Epiphanies I had reading it. I have the paperback. Facts. The Epiphanies. I'm telling you, like, sitting down with it is another ball game. But yeah, y'all. I'm known for talking, and I like talking. You see what I'm saying?